G'day reefers! Welcome to Gallery Aquatica TV. I'm Ania and today we're in store and we're going to share with you some tips and tricks on how to get the most accurate results from your testing procedure. So as I'm sure you're well aware, so many of the invertebrates like coral, shrimp, sea stars that we keep in our reef aquariums depend on very good water chemistry. It is for this reason that we test our water so diligently and wherever possible improve the accuracy of the results. So tip number one, irrespective of what test kit brand you choose, it's very important to always check the expiry date. So tip number two, reduce all forms of potential contamination. When you're taking the sample from your main aquarium, you want to use a vessel that you've actually rinsed in the sample, discarded, and then you actually take enough water that you're able to rinse all the vials you'll be using, the lids that are going onto the vials, and the pipettes as well. This ensures there's no potential residual contaminants and you're going to get the most accurate result possible. Tip number three, particularly if you're using some old vials that you've used multiple times before, you may find that the fill line has wiped away a little bit. So it can be very useful to get yourself a medical grade syringe and ensure that 5 ml actually is indeed 5 ml. Tip number four, know your meniscus. So when you're filling the vial with your water sample, what you will find is that the surface of the water actually has a slight bend to it. Now it is called the meniscus, or the surface or skin of the water if you like, and you really need to get on eye level to ensure that it is the bottom curvature of the meniscus that is lining up with the fill line on the vial. Tip number five, be sure to read your test kit instructions very thoroughly. You can even use a highlighter to highlight the most important points. Examples that can be easily overlooked in the steps are things like placing a cap on top of your test vial or shaking instead of swirling. Another one we hear about often is viewing the color side on when it should actually be viewed top down. Tip number six, use a timing device such as a mobile phone wherever is necessary. The chemical reactions that are occurring within the vial rely on this timing to be as accurate as possible to provide you the right result. Tip number seven, make sure when you're doing repeat testing that you're taking the sample at a very similar time of day. Another important thing to consider is to ensure you're not taking the water sample shortly after feeding your fish and certainly not after feeding your coral. Tip number eight, repeat the test multiple times on the same sample and use a calculator to work out the average value. This will eliminate any potential discrepancies in the testing procedure. Tip number nine, when in doubt, it can be really useful to cross-reference your results with someone else's. Your local fish store is the perfect place to take your water sample and your results and get them to check it and see if you come up with the same number. Our final tip for today on improving the accuracy of your test results is to make sure you're buying the right test kits for the result resolution that you wish to achieve. What this means is some kits have a resolution of say 20 parts per million. Others have a resolution of 5 parts per million. If you require higher accuracy than that, then why not go for one that has a 1 part per million resolution, such as a Hana instrument? Or failing that, the most accurate option is, of course, cross-checking your results against an ICP test. So there you have it. 10 basic tips on how to improve the accuracy of your water testing regime. If you've got any suggestions or anything to add, please be sure to leave me a comment below. I'd love to answer and hear your opinions. Thanks for joining me on today's episode of Gallery Aquatica TV. I'm Ania, and happy reefing.
That's our video for today. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and make sure you've subscribed to our channel so you don't miss an episode of Gallery Aquatica TV. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Cam the Fish Guy. Happy reefing!